In the next coming days, Warzone goes from a dark, gritty Eastern European city to a colourful and exotic island by the Pacific, Caldera, the new map for Call of Duty Warzone. But to see where we're about to go, first of all, we have to see where we've been. In late 2018, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 was released without story mode. Fans were mixed about this approach, but the game had something up its sleeve. Alongside its fast-paced 6v6 maps and critically acclaimed zombies mode, had a new multiplayer experience, Blackout, a large-scale battle royale within the Call of Duty universe made from the scrapped single-player mode's assets, pitting up to 100 players against each other in hopes for being the last one standing, and it worked. Personally speaking, this changed the game for me. I'd never played a battle royale before, and playing within the Black Ops engine and universe was so refreshing for me, I was instantly hooked. Rumours about the next COD Battle Royale experience were never far away from the release of Modern Warfare 2019. The new IW8 engine showed off what Infinity Ward was capable of and set a new standard for the franchise. Leaks and rumours flooded the internet as speculation ran wild about the new BR for Call of Duty. We knew it was coming, we just didn't know when. And then COVID happened. But then Warzone was released, and then the world went into lockdown, but then every single person you knew was playing Warzone. And as you know, it became very popular. The mode itself, much like Modern Warfare's multiplayer, punished you for small mistakes and rewarded you for aggressive plays and being skilled in not only gunplay, but movement and tactics as well. As the year went on, more was added with each season, more points of interest, more weapons, more operators, and a few limited time modes as well. So nearly 2 years after its debut, the Battle Royale experience is getting a new map, Caldera. Set in the Pacific, tying in with COD's latest release, Vanguard, we will see if Warzone can keep the top spot in the Battle Royale genre or if it's too little too late. Now, let me be clear, Warzone will never die. It will never be a quote-unquote dead game, but players have been playing the same map for almost 2 years. It's gotten stale, and I think a lot of the casual players have either given up or moved on to other things. So here's what I'm hoping for Warzone Pacific. The first thing on my wish list is a working anti-cheat. Activision's Ricochet anti-cheat needs to work. If not on day one, it needs to work on month one. Warzone has been played by cheaters, aimbots and walk hacks almost since it first came out. And it looks like they've spent a lot of time in the lab with this product, but it really needs to be effective. All I want from this game is to be playing on a level playing field, and if I die, I want to know that it's my fault. I want to know that I made a mistake, and I want to know that it was a fair fight. There's been countless times that I've been just spectating someone that's killed me, trying to figure out, are they cheating? I don't know, could they be? Probably not. And then I'll go on COD Tracker and I'll look up their stats and I'll be like, oh, they've got a 0.9 KD, but within the last 7 days, they've got an 8 KD with 80% headshot accuracy. And you're like, oh no, they were cheating. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating that you've known that you've wasted 20 minutes thinking that you're in a chance of, oh yeah, I could win this. Okay, my rotation's been right. I've got the intel right. You know, bounties let me know where players are and I can kind of figure that out with UAVs and stuff. And then you just get 360 no scoped by someone, and it's just incredibly frustrating. And it was more frustrating when Raven weren't vocal about it, or when it was just radio silence from them for a long time. They're like, everyone was like, yo, it's got a real cheat problem at the moment, this month blah 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 has been particularly bad. But it was just radio silent from Activision and Raven, and that was very frustrating. I think now they're more vocal about things. I guess they couldn't say anything while Ricochet was being worked on, which completely makes sense. That completely makes sense to be like, you know, internally, don't let this get out that we're working on this. But you know, really, it has to work. This kernel level anti-cheat really has to work, or at least mitigate a lot of what's been going on. And I think this is going to be a totally new feel to Warzone. Raven have been in control of Warzone for some time now, and I think they're really ready to flex a muscle and creativity. Caldera is the opposite to Verdansk in terms of how it looks, and I hope the saturation isn't too out of control like it is in Black Ops. Like if you're thinking about when you're looking at the sun, or the heat haze is a bit iffy and the visibility isn't great, especially for console players. I know playing on PC myself, you can just put up on all the Nvidia filters, but that's not a great thing to do. You know, you're tanking your performance for one, you know. And I really want to see the Fidelity FX cast sharpener from Vanguard being ported over to Warzone. I think they'll do that. I do think they'll do that, and I think it will work, because using third-party sharpeners takes up too much of your performance. And with each season from Warzone, I've been losing about 10 frames per second per season, to the point where I was at the start on like 170, and now I'm 120 or less if I'm lucky, playing at 1440p, which, you know, it is fine, but the more the better, right? Ranked mode in Warzone will be amazing, with rewards and challenges that actually mean something. Like a spray or a static cooling card isn't really worth enough for the player to grind it out. I'd love to see, you know, really cool looking animated calling cards, or maybe a master camo if you reach a certain level in ranked. That would be great. Blackout had challenges to unlock characters, and they were hard, like really hard. I remember it taking me a whole year to finally unlock Reznov, and when I did it, it felt worthwhile, and it was a hard challenge for me to do. Anytime I saw someone with that skin, I was like, yo, he's got to be good, and I would love to see that in Warzone Pacific. I think ranked modes will come at some point, and when it does, I think the TTK and obstacles of Iron Trials will be in it, and I think they've hinted at it. I'm not sure if they've said it, but they've definitely, I think, hinting with it with Iron Trials. There'll always be a meta that everyone is using, but I think with the Vanguard weapons being introduced, you know, we can probably see up to 200 weapons to choose from in Warzone, and I think Raven need to put some of these in the locker and only have certain guns per season from Modern Warfare, from Cold War, from Vanguard that the player can use. Balancing these weapons is something they'll have to work on to make sure they're all viable, but it will make things fresh. I mean, there's people that I know that have used the Kar 98 from day one for 2 years since now. And every single game they've just used the Kar 98 SMG, and that's how they play. And removing those items from what you can play with will let players branch out and get out of their comfort zone, and maybe stop using certain things like the riot shield as a crutch, and make the game flow a bit differently. From these patch notes we can see on their blog, all these changes are going to come on day one, and they all sound fantastic. They all sound great. You know, you now spawn with your weapon you had in the Gulag, like in Iron Trials. Stopping rounds are gone. Dead silence has been nerfed. The gas mask animation that everyone has complained about since day one is being nerfed. And there's loads more on there, loads more exciting things to come, and I personally am very excited about what's next for Warzone. It has been one of my favourite games from the past 5 years, and I think it will probably continue to be so for quite a while. So that is it from me. That's my opinion on things. I am really hoping that things go well from day one and we're all having loads of fun. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Until next time, goodbye.